Welcome back to Challenge Week. I'm so excited to hear about your breakthroughs. Definitely send me a DM on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and let me know if you're enjoying Challenge Week. Before we get into the rest of the challenge lessons, I want to make sure that you have signed up to get the assignments that are delivered directly to your email inbox. You can do so at kristenkaczynski.com/challenge, or just check your show notes on your podcasting app and the link is right there in the show notes. But when you sign up with your email, I'm actually going to send you daily emails for each day of the challenge with things like journal prompts, little exercises that you can do to integrate some of the stuff that you're learning on each episode, and just a lot of stuff to really enhance your experience in the challenge. So I personally believe you are seriously missing out if you're not signed up for the daily assignments. You just learn and grow so much faster when you're able to be a more active participant, right? So it's one thing to listen to this podcast. It's a whole nother thing to actually integrate the stuff that you're learning and practice it in your day-to-day life. And the assignments I'm sending to you as part of this challenge are going to support you in starting to do that. So I really think it's to your benefit to sign up. And again, you can do so at kristenkaczynski.com/challenge.
We were kind of talking about this divine feminine energy, this energy of believing that you are worthy of receiving for your beingness, like for who you are. The first corner you have to turn in order to feel really worthy of receiving is believing that you're worthy of receiving no matter what. So I had this fleeting thought this morning while I was, doing my business. And I was thinking to myself, I am worthy of receiving even while I take a crap. How fucking silly is that? But it's true. Until you're in that state where you feel so embodied in your worthiness of receiving that, even while you're taking a crap or changing your tampon, you're like, yeah, money, come to me. Right? So that's where we want to get. We want to get to this space where we can feel so fucking worthy of receiving that even while we're doing the unglamorous stuff that every human has to do, we're still like, yeah, money, come rain from the sky for me. And it takes a lot of inner work to get there, right? So a lot of us do not feel worthy of receiving while we're taking a crap or while we're just resting or while we're on vacation or while we're, while it's 4 p.m. and we're like, oh, I really want to sign off for the workday, but I have all these other things to do, but I really want to receive, but I have all these other things to do. And what about the growth of my business, right? So a lot of us are kind of trapped in this cycle of feeling like we have to give more and more and more. And we aren't able to feel safe in the receiving energy because we feel that everything's going to fall apart if we don't do stuff constantly. I know I felt that way. You have a really hard time kind of just sitting back. And I don't mean you're sitting back watching TV, but you're still thinking about your business. I mean, you're sitting back watching TV and your business couldn't be further from your mind because you're actually enjoying yourself, right? That is receiving. But so many of us can't even tap into that state or be embodied in that energy because it doesn't feel safe for our bodies because we don't feel worthy of it. We were taught work really hard in school, work really hard in college, work really hard at work really hard everywhere you go, work really hard in your business. It's rampant in this industry that you're told post 5 times per day. If you're not posting 1 reel per day, you're behind, right? All of this bullshit messaging that we need to be doing more pressures us. And because we don't feel we haven't done the inner work to feel worthy of receiving even in the resting, we feel this pressure build up and we force ourselves to keep going. And then even when we're forced to rest because our partner taps us on the shoulder and is like, hey, are you going to eat dinner? Or because, we're exhausted and we're like, okay, this is literally all I can physically do right now. I need to go to bed. Even when we disconnect, we're not fully disconnected because our mind is still thinking about our businesses. This is still kind of giving energy, right? So it kind of relates to attachment too. When we're so focused on our business, even when we're supposed to be receiving rest, pleasure, excitement, joy, connection with our friends, connection with our partner, love, if we're still connected to our business and we're still thinking of our business, we're not actually receiving. So we're kind of splitting where we think we're receiving, but we're actually splitting off. And then here's the other part of it. So this was a breakthrough I had yesterday. This was something I knew on a different level, but I like relearned it on a deeper level. And that's really what all of the energetics, all of the manifestation, all of the mindset stuff is, right? Like you're learning a lot this week, but there's layers and layers and layers and layers. And the reason why I actually did the assignments with you guys this week is because I wanted to take myself deeper on the same exact journey that you guys were going on. So I had a deeper awakening, a deeper level of learning on receiving last night, actually. So I was talking to someone last night who, you know, those people where it's like there's like a dark cloud over their head, and no matter what, it seems like the world is falling apart for them. And that's all they can see too, right? Like all they can see is their struggle. They can't see any of the beautiful things like that are in their life. Even if there's an abundance of beautiful things in their life, they're stuck with the dark cloud over their head. I know you guys know these people, right? Maybe you're that person. Maybe you used to be that person. Maybe you know someone who is that person. So I talked to someone like that last night, and I was like, whew, I gotta like clear this energy. Not that their experience is not valid to them, but just to keep myself in energetic alignment. I'm really strict about that. So I just ran through my gratitude list before I went to bed in my head. And I was just thinking of all the things I'm grateful for. Of course, you know, Leo, my husband, my beautiful wedding, our honeymoon, all the things I'm grateful for. And then I started thinking of the things that like related to my business. I always try to start with things that are not business related because those are actually my priorities, right? Like my relationship with my husband is actually my priority over my business. So I always start with those things and then I expand out to do business things. And as I expanded out to do business things, I had this fleeting thought of something my OBM said to me, my online business manager said to me. She had said something about how she sees something in me that is, it like reminds her of the 7-figure clients that she works with, which is amazing, right? Like how fucking amazing is that to hear that from someone who works with 7-figure clients? So I like listed that as a gratitude thing. And then it was like a wave of energy washed over me. And I was like, oh my God, like this has been the core need I've been trying to like soothe within myself this entire fucking time that I've been, you know, trying to step into receiving energy and trying to receive money this week. Right. So what happened was one of my core needs of one of my childhood parts, one of my wounded childhood parts, is that it has a need for recognition. It wants to be recognized for all the hard work it does. It wants to be recognized for all the, you know, social media content she puts out there. She wants to be recognized for the years of training she's gone through. She wants to be recognized, right? So that's one of my core needs. And as I listed that gratitude thing of like, oh my God, she said this thing about me that really like recognized me for my excellence, I was like, oh my God, I'm being recognized. It was like I was completely blind to it. And then it was like as I said that in my head, it was like all these other like situations where I had been recognized by you guys, by my clients, by my audience in one way or another, from like this point all the way back to the beginning of my business, because I have gotten recognized my entire business career, except for like that like 3-week period where no one knew who I was, right? So I just like, it just like removed the blinders from my eyes. And I was like, oh my God, this whole time I've been like craving recognition. And I even asked for it one time on a coaching call because I'm that bitch. I'm like, can everyone on this call just, you know, celebrate me today? I'm that bitch. I'm like, I need celebration right now. Everyone celebrate me right now. And they did. It was awesome. But this whole time I've been searching for something that was already there, that I was literally already receiving in abundance, in overflow. And so I want you to take this learning, this breakthrough that I had last night, and apply it to your own life.
Okay, listen up because this is huge. Okay, so I've never done this before, but I wanted to just kind of like shake things up during challenge week and just basically have like a whole freaking party on the podcast during challenge week. So I have a free gift for you, and it's super easy for you to receive this free gift. Here's all you have to do. But first, let me tell you what the gift is. So if you do what I'm about to say, you will get a secret coupon code to Divine Feminine Sales Preview, which includes everything inside of Module 1. So if you've been hearing my ads about the Divine Feminine Sales Module 1 $55 offer, I'm actually going to give you a coupon code for 100% off so you can access Module 1 completely free. In that module 1, you get my offer creation framework, which is going to support you in creating amazing offers that are super clear to both you and your soulmate clients and will allow you to shift into alignment to attract those soulmate clients. So it's a super juicy free gift. I'm going to give you that secret coupon code if you do this. All you have to do is rate and review the podcast. Take a screenshot before you hit that submit button, and then send me a DM on Instagram with the screenshot. And remember, I'm at Kristen Kaczynski on Instagram. Now, if you're listening to this podcast during Challenge Week, what are you waiting for? Do it right now. You can do it while I'm still talking in this advertisement. However, if you're listening to this after Challenge Week, maybe a month from now, maybe a year from now, if you found the podcast after I ran these episodes, here's what I want you to know. I will still give you some sort of free gift if you rate and review the podcast and screenshot that review and DM it to me on Instagram. I can't promise it'll be Divine Feminine Sales Module 1 because, marketing and offer suites and all the things we do on the back end, that changes year over year sometimes. But I promise I will have some sort of free gift for you if you rate and review and send me your review. So do me a favor, rate and review the podcast. It really helps the show reach more people. It helps more people experience their own soul expansion. And if you've gotten something positive out of this show, saying even just like a couple of sentences, taking like 2 minutes to write the review, it dramatically helps the podcast reach more people, which means I get to help more people and you get to be a part of that impact. And I want to reward you for that. So go ahead and write your review, take a screenshot, DM it to me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski, and I will have your secret coupon code for Divine Feminine Sales Module 1. Or if you're listening to this at some point in the future, some other free gift will be waiting for you in my DMs. What are you waiting for? Do it now. Thank you. I love you so, so, so much. And now let's get back to the show.
When we are chasing after money, when we're reaching for money, it's because a core need is not being met from one of our childhood parts. And these are usually unconscious. So the next time you find yourself feeling like, where's the money? Where's the money? Like, I feel like I need to chase after this lead. Stop, slow down, check in with your body and ask yourself, what is the core need that is here? Like, what is here? What does this part of me need? And for me, it was recognition. And when the blinders came off my eyes, I was like, oh my God, we live in such an overflow of abundance. When you identify what the core need is, see if you can understand that core need is already being met. Because it's not going to be met by money. And that's where the existential kink comes in. This is a book I just started reading. So existential kink means we actually crave what's bad for us because it fulfills some sort of unconscious need that we need, like that we're craving, right? So just like the situation I just described, I was craving money. I was reaching for money to get recognition, but money doesn't give you recognition, and the recognition was already there. So like whatever you're reaching for and like you're projecting that onto money, see if you can see if that's already there in overflow, in abundance. And then it's like the money gets to be just candy falling from the sky, right? So instead of like reaching for the money to fulfill the need of recognition, now you can just be open to receive the money because the recognition's already there. All your core needs are being met. And it takes healing. It takes work to, get to this place. But when you're in this place where you can really feel like your higher self energy and you can actually be in your central channel and be this energetic being that you are, when you're there, then all your core needs are being met. It's just an illusion that they're not being met. And so as we start to recognize that, we start to see the overflow that is literally already here. We wake up to that dimension where overflow exists. But until we do the healing work, we can't even see or recognize the overflow because we're so trapped and your consciousness actually gets stuck, right? So your consciousness gets stuck in certain states. Like maybe it gets stuck in this state where it feels like it needs to have the right answer before it can proceed. And so you find yourself constantly consuming content, right? That's a huge problem in this industry. So you get stuck in that need to have the right answer, and then you can't like open up and see the bigger picture. Or maybe you get stuck in this consciousness of believing that you need to know more before you can be seen as like a qualified leader. I know that I've talked to some of you personally, and that's one of your limiting beliefs. You're like, I feel like I need to know more before people will recognize me as this leader that I think I am. And so we get stuck in that consciousness. And until we're able to see past it, to see through it, because that's the illusion. Until we're able to open up and see the bigger picture, we stay stuck in that same pattern of feeling like, whew, I can't receive until I can't receive money until I finish my course all the way to completion. But then it's like, what else do you need to complete? Right. So if you guys have finishers, like parts of you that need to finish things before it allows itself to receive, that may be a part you have. Or if you have achievers and you're like, oh, I can't receive until I achieve a certain status. And then the fucked up thing is that status that you're trying to achieve is actually equated with money. So you're like, I can't receive money until I receive money. I know that's a big one for business coaches. We're like, I can't receive money until I receive money. And then I can say to people that I received money. And then you're like stuck. You're fucking stuck. Right? And so, anyway, to bring it all full circle, the first step of being able to be a better receiver is being able to see the bigger picture and also to know very deeply that you are worthy of receiving even when you're taking a crap or even when you're putting a tampon in, because you are, right? Like we are all energetic beings. We are all divine on some level and we're human on some level, but we all have divinity inside of us. And we have to like stay centered in that knowing that we get to sit back and relax and rest and receive. And it doesn't have to be tied to how many hours we work or to how much effort we put in or to how much information we know or to if we finish the thing yet. It gets to just be. And yes, you do the healing work. Yes, you do like the manifestation work, but it all happens at the same time, right? So you're healing, you're stepping into this future energy, and you get to receive now. Right? Like it's not like you have to heal every part you ever had before you get to receive. You get to receive now as you are. And so integrating and embodying this truth is going to be transformational for your bottom line. And if you're like, I hear you, but this sounds really fucking hard, drop your questions in the bottom. I want to answer your questions. Because for me, the first time I heard of this concept of receiving for your beingness, I was like, you don't know who I am. I was like, you don't know who I am. I work really hard for things. Like, I know there's some people out there who they're just lucky, but for me, no, I have to work hard for things. And this is the existential kink, right? So I actually prided myself on working hard for things. So this was one of my fucked up patterns from like a year ago. I needed to work hard to make the money, because if I didn't work hard to make the money, I didn't feel like I was like worthy as a human being. So like I had to force myself to struggle. And then I got like a sick satisfaction out of that struggle because it was like, okay, I'm worthy of being a human being. Right? But who wants to live that way? I don't want to live that way. And thank goodness I don't have to live that way. I've done a lot of work to get here. But the most important thing I want you guys to remember is, okay, you had a lot of breakthroughs during this 5-day free challenge, but the integration and the embodiment work is where the real magic happens. Sometimes we think that like, if we learn more information, then we're going to get further along. But how many of you have listened to like 500 podcasts about business? Like I know I've listened to like 500 podcasts about business, but no matter how many podcasts you listen to about business, you're not going to get better at growing your income, right? Because the information doesn't actually lead to the transformation. The information leads to knowledge that satisfies the mind. Like the brain wants answers. So that's where your thirst for knowledge, that's where your thirst for answer comes from. It comes from your brain. You're programmed to behave that way. But the transformation comes from the integration of the information and then the embodiment of the information. It's like learning to surf. So you could read every book that ever existed on surfing. You could study the physics of the waves of the ocean. You could study how the surfboard navigates the waves and how pro surfers navigate the waves on the surfboard. You could even learn what pro surfers do in their day-to-day routines to be so good at surfing. But even if you have all this information, when you get on that surfboard for the first time, you're still going to suck. Not because you didn't learn enough, but because you didn't integrate and embody what you learned enough, right? And that's kind of the cold hard truth. But I see this happen a lot where we're like, I need more answers. I need more information. You don't need more information. You need to go deeper than the information. That's where the true magic happens. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. I'm so excited to see your breakthroughs. Keep tagging me in those. Keep DMing me all the information that you've been uncovering within yourself. And then, of course, consider joining one of my paid programs so we can really take this momentum that you've built up this week and take it to the next level and really explode your income into that state of overflow. Yes. All right, guys. I love you so much. I will see you soon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart in appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.